Mayfield, pocket collapsing, in trouble, down he goes! The sack from Clelin Ferrell, his first in Washington.
Success right up the middle.
Fake to Singletary. Jones in trouble here, and he's going to get sacked.
Burrow has found 7 different receivers. And he's going to be brought to the ground. A big sack by this Washington defense, and the first guy there, Dante Fowler.
Knowing that he was going to have to score points, and boy have they. They've scored every time they've gotten the ball.
Here's Burrow. He is sacked.
In the backfield, Kyler Murray with pressure coming, gets out of it, and eventually is sacked. Dorrance Armstrong and Frankie Louvu part of that. Murray is sacked. Big play, Washington defense. Armstrong gets it. And they get to Murray, sacked back at the 6-yard line. It collapsed. Wagner coming in along with Payne. It's Jen on 2nd down 5. More on that in a moment. Murray is going to be sacked. Boy, the Washington defense.
With Sainra still looking this way. Down he goes. Frankie Louvu has had a big first half, and there's a sack. Pressure coming on Watson. He feels it, and he is dropped. It's officially no gain. Jonathan Allen was first. Louvu was in there as well.
For the half.
Pressure right in his face. Watson is swarmed under. His line got thrown back.
Timeouts for no reason.
First and goal. Out of the timeout. Watson shimmies to the 10 and gets blasted by Dorrance Armstrong.
Washington offense can attack in a lot of different ways.
Watson climbing the pocket. Now he breaks left. He gets hit. And the ball's out. Just ripped from his hands by Frankie Louvu. A human crowbar.
That Viking staff has done. Brian Flores on defense.
Louvu again. It's a broken record.
High levels he has.
A 9-time Pro Bowler. They get there again. Down goes Watson.
And help on the same side. You're leaving your left tackle Wills dead to rights.
Looking and nowhere to go. Commanders with a sack. They had 7 last week, and Dante Fowler is the one who brings down Lamar.
This is the way Washington has a chance to win. They got to stop them.
2nd and 8. They had him. Still running free. That was about to turn into one of those classic Lamar highlight reel plays.
Down.
Both Hubbard and Sanders on the field. Dalton trying to step up. He's going down. Sacked on the play by the former Panther, Frankie Louvu.
2 by Jeremy Reeves on the tackle.
24-yard line is the line of scrimmage. Dalton being chased. Dalton is caught from behind by Fowler, who's having a field day.
He's got a 2nd and 9. Bobbled the shotgun snap, and that little moment of hesitation securing the football led to that sack. First down of the game for Chicago. Play action, pressure, and he's down at the 25-yard line. Williams. He's going to be taken down by Louvu or someone else, as it turns out, as he somehow broke that, but only lost more yardage as he tried to fight.
Just watch this pressure internal and on the outside. Rough sledding right here. If you're a young quarterback, to get through progressions fast when you got that many people around.
See, Singletary comes in. Jones, pressure coming. And it's almost intercepted. He tried to get rid of it. The ball, they're going to rule it incomplete right away. Players just making sure if it was a fumble. Neighbors, bottom of your screen. Jones in trouble here, and he's going to go down at the 40-yard line. Looked like he wanted to take off and run. Dante
Bradshaw drive. Harris, I don't know if there was a Jack Ham alley. Also, Frankie Louvu gets to Russell Wilson and tosses him down.
To come in for Russell Wilson. Look at that. Jones blocks down. Louvu comes right off the edge of him.
36 with Najee Harris in the backfield. Play action. Wilson devoured. Dante Fowler has been on quite a run.
Trying to get to Najee Harris. Watch Harris 22. He's circling and he's going to go underneath, but because of the pressure by Fowler, he obscures the vision of Wilson. He's got to pull it down, and Fowler pulls Wilson down instead.
I think JJ has a deal where he only does tight end highlights. Russell Wilson is buried inside the 20. Dante Fowler having another huge game.
Commander's debut. Jalen tries to run, but nothing doing there. Frankie Louvu in the slot, Brown wide right. And a little trickery here, but nothing doing. Boy, was that smelled out perfectly that time.
Clock every time.
Second down, fake to Dowdle in Rush's hands.
Got to take the sack. Just take the sack.
And he smartly will. Payne gets credit for it.
Levis sees the pressure, steps up, but Louvu brings him down. Levis in trouble. And Levis is again able to escape but not get much out of it. Deron Payne had him in the back.
Third down and 13. Haener in trouble. Down he goes. So the Saints will send out the punting unit this season. On first down, Haener sacked for the second time. Jake Haener's first NFL start for the injured Derek Carr. And Haener will be sacked once again back at the 25-yard line.
Saquon right side. Is he looking to throw? He was, and they were ready for it. But the Eagles safety is thrown out of the game. Here's Pickett. Hit from behind. It's stripped. It's loose. It's still loose. Who's got it? Cleveland Furrow from the backside with a sack to force the fumble. Now who recovered it?
And they're very good in the red zone.
Brown against Lattimore to the bottom of the screen. That's where Pickett's looking as he gets sacked by Dante Fowler. 10th season, one of his best.
Understand, my slide is to my left, my hot is to my right. Matched up in the slot.
Against Igbenogany. Steps into a tight pocket and gets sacked.
Rookie Penix scanning, lost the football, and he got back on it. It was Fowler who came in. 3rd and 10. Penix stepping up, right down, ball out. Recovered by the center, Drew Goldman. Dorrance Armstrong.
He's going to want this kid. He's productive.
He signed on a one-year deal this year. Lance is under pressure. He just got smashed by Jeremy Chin. So they back out with 7 in coverage. Fowler still almost got to Lance, and he's going to get swallowed up anyway. Finished off by Jonathan Allen.
Snaps, 3 on offense this year. Play pass, Mayfield looking end zone, trapped and in trouble, and he'll go down at the 5-yard line. Yes, Vita Vea.
The OG at that, crew, of course, started that here. Here's Goff in trouble. Ball is out. It's recovered by the Commanders. What do the Lions have left magic-wise? Here's Goff. Pressure up the middle. He is sacked. Dorrance Armstrong gets his second today. Blitz coming. Hurts is in trouble. He is dropped. Frankie Louvu came right through. Back on that last play for the Commanders. Here's Hurts. Pressure again. He's in trouble. They get another one. Back-to-back sacks. It's Dorrance Armstrong that time who delivers. He had 2 sacks last week.